Guys, I don't know how this fight did not escalate to become physical. Like, it was a serious back and forth between Chinwe and Aunty. Ebuka speechless. In fact, I've never seen Ebuka like this. He not even bothered to settle fight. He just they look till the show finish. Anyway, welcome back to my channel. Today's reunion, this is the gist. Let me start giving you people. It started with fine boy Tofa, as you can see. I don't even know what's up with this set of reunion. Everybody don't quarrel. All the partners, apart from the siblings, everybody quarrel. Nobody is together. So anyway, surprisingly, they said Tofa and Suj. That one really shocked me, that they have not been talking. What does Tofa think? Tofa is like, he just felt like he's the one always reaching out, and Suj is funny to him. Like that he launched a jersey. He didn't get any support from Suj. On his birthday, Suj came really late when the party was over. Aside that, he's the one always reaching out to Suj, and Suj never reaches out. And Ebuka went on to ask Suj, what exactly is this? So he's like, for him, he just thinks it's a communication thing. And that's Tofa, that he just thinks it's a whole communication thing, and he doesn't know, he's not one to always like be disturbing people. And it's clear that he's been the one reaching out to Suj all of the time, and Suj does not return, it does not seem to want to communicate in return. And Oga Suj, first of all, he had this smirk on his face, like, really, this guy, what's he talking about? Then after the smirk, he now says to Tofa, look at me in the eyes. Look at me in the eyes and tell me really that it's a communication problem. Look at me. Ebuka now says, Suj, what is it? What exactly is it? So it's like, first of all, in the house, it was both of them that talked about the whole jersey thing. He comes out of the house later, and Tofa is launching a jersey. All well and good. He actually thought Tofa delivered the jersey to Nelly. So in other words, you're giving the jersey to everyone else, but you didn't deliver to me. Anyways, he came to meet Tofa in the apartment, and he's like, okay, let me wear this one. Oh, this looks nice. This actually fits me. And then he says, Tofa goes in with the manager, comes out and says, this particular one, oh, you cannot have it. Let's order a new batch. By the time we order a new batch, we'll give it to you. And it made him feel a type of way. He said he was telling his sister, isn't it funny that it's them Tofa that are complaining about how the shirt looks on me? If they wanted to give me, like, why are they the ones complaining about the fit and not me? But he said, anyway, oh well, he will wait for the second batch. By the time the second batch came, he said they were even both in an apartment that they got together, and it was there. They were unboxing, they were doing everything that they were doing, and nobody talked about him getting the jersey. And he wasn't about to ask them again, and obviously that rubbed him off the wrong way. Anyway, Tofa in turn corrected the narrative and was like, no, that is not what happened. I didn't go and gift Nelly in her hotel room. So everything that you are saying is cap. And Suj is like, guy, let's just allow this thing. Let's die this issue. That I feel bad I'm coming here to talk about this. And Suj made it clear in the beginning that he's not even one that lets people into his life. That his family, they had warned him previously about the way Tofa was moving. And Tofa was like, okay, that explains the bad blood, because clearly you had this thing in your mind. And Suj is like, no, I wasn't trying to ride with that narrative, but it was the way that you carried on. That imagine him trying to reach out to Tofa, and he had tried to call Tofa severally and he could not. He had to reach out to Tofa's manager that, why can't I reach Tofa? And Tofa's manager gave him the same number that Tofa was on, so he clearly knew that Tofa had blocked him. Tofa in response said that he was going through a creative whatever and he wasn't talking to anybody, which is just an excuse as far as I'm concerned. That yes, he removed him from his Snapchat because he felt like the guy wasn't just showing up for him, and but other than that, he wasn't talking to anyone at all. He wasn't online. So Ebuka obviously stepped in and was like, listen, what I can decipher from all of this is that you people were never really friends. And Tofa said like they were colleagues, even their boss is wondering what's happening between them. And Ebuka was like, you both of you handled this your friendship badly and you were never really friends. So Ebuka now went on to Victoria and asked her about she and Sean. that both of you, people seem to think that something happened between you two in Dubai. You cannot just meet in Dubai and become friends. Were you sexually involved? What exactly did you people do together? And Victoria is like, no, she and Sean, there was no sexual attraction whatsoever, and that Sean was never attracted to her, that everybody knows that Sean likes big ass, that so she doesn't understand why anybody. So that made everyone laugh, and Sean was like, no, don't say that, I don't discriminate, I like everything and everyone, but no, to get it like across, we didn't date and we are not dating, that so that is not the narrative. And Ebuka also went on to ask Sean that, do you think you could have handled it better when our energy level was kind of low in the house in the beginning? And it was like, honestly, we were both navigating like it was new grounds for both of us, that so he couldn't have handled it in any way. That yes, in the beginning he was trying to hold them up as best as he could, but also in the middle he saw her strength, he saw that she was even the one picking up his own slacks, that so he just thinks that at the end of the day, even though when they both came out of the house there was this whole narrative of, oh, this person was bad to this person, and that he called, that they both sat down, they talked, and they were able to kill everything. And that even if they came out and she had said, oh Sean, I don't want to talk to you again, he would have respected that. At this point, Victoria now like did yemo to him that like really, you would have, anyway, he said he would have respected that. But it's all well and good that both of them, they kind of like were able to mend fences. And Victoria said that honestly she felt like he could have handled it better in the beginning, like he could have been there for her more or something, but that she also understands that obviously both of them are learning every day, and they both kind of learned from their alliance. So these are like the only two people that I think that they've been able to handle their whole alliance maturely, because even when they came out of the house they were able to bury, because everybody else seemed to have fallen apart more or less after they came out of the house. And I don't understand it, like everybody, I don't get the majority of the housemates, like I said, only people related by blood, or probably Sean and Victoria alone. Other than that, every other person, they don't quarrel. Anyways, after that, Ebuka asked Ozzy, do you think that you were the one that caused all that drama between Victoria and Onyeka? And Ozzy is like, honestly, as far as he's concerned, he did not mean to triangulate, using his words, that he had individual relationship with both ladies born from mutual respect. And as much as he was kind of friends with both of them, he did not have any plans, or he did not see it as a triangle, that he just enjoyed both of them's friendship and he had no plans to create any form of triangle. And he made it very clear from the beginning his relationship status. So but Ebuka was like, you knew that this was what was going on, you were in the middle of it all, that I even asked you people on the show a couple of times, so you knew that this was what you were doing. So at some point you must have thought that, okay, this is what is causing it. Or did you even call them to say, oh, as friends, or as these two people are my friends, let me even come in between and try and resolve whatever it is that is going on between them? And he said no, that as a guy, he doesn't think he's in position to come and settle it, and that these are two very intelligent women, that they know that you are putting it lightly, or you're kind of downplaying their intelligence if you think that it's just me, that I will now come and cause all this rift between them, that they both know what they want, and they both know the reason why they have this whole drama going on. Ebuka now went on to ask what's her name, DJ Flo, ask DJ Flo, what do you think about this whole drama? Do you think that he knew what he was doing? And she was like, yes, she absolutely thinks that he was enjoying it, and yes, he was into it. Ebuka also asked Nelly, and Nelly was referring to like even outside the house. Nelly is like, you can control whatever your fans do, what your fans say, your fans fight about. So in one sentence you could have just killed the whole thing between Onyeka and this if you don't like it, and say that it's not because of you, or you are not a party to it. They also asked Onyeka, what do you think? Do you think Ozzy was enjoying it or doing it on purpose. And Onyeka is like, honestly, as much as he says he has individual relationships with both of us, I think he was playing it as well as a game. That I think that she was the only one that didn't want to be a part of the triangle, and she kept on trying to remove herself. But she knew that he was totally doing it. He was enjoying it, and it was also gameplay for him. So she also believed that he was purposely fueling the whole triangle narrative. And Victoria as well said that while she was in the house, she didn't see it, but outside of the house, when she was watching it, she saw a few times where he was dancing with her. Then after dancing with her, he now leaves to go and kiss Onyeka. So she could actually see that it was a whole triangle thing going on, and she could see that he knew what he was doing and why that whole narrative is like thriving. So she definitely thinks that it was a party to it. Now his twin brother comes in to say, oh well, people see what they see, and people must have thought that he was enjoying it, but for all you know, he wasn't enjoying it as much. He just created genuine friendship with these two ladies. And even though people can see that narrative, it doesn't necessarily mean that that's what his brother was doing. Of course, he will support his brother. And you know the Mbadiwe brothers, they are notorious for trying to be politically correct. They know how to twist and turn things and hide from narratives. And if you see how Ozzy even started answering Ebuka, it was like it wasn't a game. He doesn't play games. He has always come out clean with his thing. I'm like, whatever. Anyways, so at this point, Ebuka went on to ask Nne if she was cool with Chinwe, and she's like, oh, of course, that she and Chinwe, they even talk, but it was something that had been on her mind. That's why she brought out the whole Chinwe altercation, but they're good. And Chinwe in turn said yes, that she's always been good. But as a matter of fact, when Chinwe brought up their whole argument in the house, that she was kind of shocked. That she was shocked because they're actually cool. That she and Aunty are the ones that have never agreed, because she knows Aunty's stand. That's how Aunty said that, Chinwe, please tell Ebuka what you feel about me now and everything. And she was like, I'm not talking to you. From this, I'm not talking to you. Auntie was like, I'm not saying you should talk to me, but just tell them what you think I think about you. Said no, that she knows that Auntie has her reservations about her and all of that. That's how the back and forth started from nowhere between Auntie and Chinwe. Auntie now said, you can prove your point, because Chinwe was like, please act civilized, I'm still talking. And Auntie was like, you can drive home your point without being rude. She now said, why are you now saying that I'm rude? How am I rude? I beg, I'm not addressing Auntie anymore. That's so I'm going to continue my conversation. And that is how both of them just started exchanging words. Guys, there was nothing that these two people did not say to each other. There was absolutely nothing they did not say to each other. At this point, even Ebuka was confused. I said I've never seen Ebuka like this. He just was looking at them and he kept on asking, what is going on here? What is going on here? Do you know that Ebuka left the rest of the show to both of them to continue arguing? Can you beat that? That is exactly what happened. Ebuka just kept quiet for them to start exchanging words with each other. Now, so Auntie said that, look at you. That's why you are following Zion. Zion does not send you. Zion does. She was like, please mind your business. Shut up. Stop. Face your front. And the Auntie was like, okay, I will stop when Zion has paid you your money. Look at you, looking for closure, begging for somebody who does not like you. Why didn't he carry you to those parties? You are not ashamed of yourself having sex in the house. And the girl was like, go and have sex with all the coochie in your cobwebs. Chinwe to Auntie. Everybody was laughing, like they were both just throwing jabs at each other. Auntie just basically abusing her, that are you not old enough to give birth to Zion, that you are there abusing him? He will still sleep with you this night and dump you. And she's like, yes, so what, you don't you have sex? Are you you a 35-year-old virgin? She was like, I'm not 35. And she said, oh, you look 50 actually. The auntie was like, when I stand and you stand, who would they think is older? Look at yourself and look at me. And Chinwe was like, you look 50. You look 50 years. And that was like a shower. They were just both going ham. The rest of the show was dedicated to these two. In fact, auntie was like, if you don't take your time, I'm going to put my hand inside your throat. I was like, hey. Chinwe was like, if you put your hand in my throat, you will see your teeth on the floor. Ngwanu now. So both of them, they were just going back and forth. Everybody was just looking, laughing, commenting. Like Ebuka was shocked. At some point, he used his hand to cover his face. Like they went in on each other. Anyway, now so this episode end. I don't even know if it's the finale. Please like and subscribe. I'll see you next week.